Hey, this is Cameron and welcome to the reaction log. Whoa. Alright, we got a special spicy one here for you, and let me go ahead and introduce it as this. I have been performing a lot recently. Performing, like, not actually performing, very sterile, kind of weird events, like competitions, for example. It's performing, but it's not like fun performing, you know? It's sort of the worst sort of performance experience possible. Relating it to unmusical stuff, I imagine it's similar to like a job interview, where you're trying to put everything on the line to like win a thing, and those things could include an award, for example, third place from Troy, Alabama, which is where I did win something there, or maybe a new job where you're gonna make more money, and that just generally improves the quality of your life and gives you more access, and like things will be different for you if in this one moment you perform better. It's so tough and common that it actually has a name. It's called stage fright. There it is, boom. So once again, I have a performance tonight. It's a small one. I'm playing in a guitar ensemble in my university, and I'm gonna be playing one solo piece before it. And you know, after that last competition, I'm feeling a little nervous going into it, because I've been practicing a lot, but I almost feel like I'm sort of regressing in my practice, which is weird, and it's also telling me that maybe I should be focusing more on the mental aspect of actually performing and less on the actual practicing part, because I have the practice part down. I've been doing like 5, 6, 7 hours a day, and that just isn't enough. That doesn't get your mindset in the right place. So what we're gonna do today is look at one, maybe a couple of combating stage fright videos. Whoa! And hopefully this will carry over to what I do, because let me go ahead and introduce myself. I am a classical guitarist here on YouTube. And what does it mean to be a classical guitarist? It means that when you are performing, you're not just giving a speech where you're like speaking. We all speak, right? That's pretty easy to do. And you have to not only play guitar, which sometimes guitar playing can be easy, like if you're playing any other genre of music, but you have to play classical guitar, which is the hardest genre of music ever conceived, and you have to do that under the worst conditions ever, in an auditorium where they turn the AC off in the middle of winter. I swear to God, when you walk on stage in that situation, it's like your soul leaves your body and your hands are just like ice. Like you're a vampire. Like, did I die walking onto the stage? Did somebody shoot me in the head as I was walking on, and this is just my hallucination, like, as I'm dying and bleeding on the floor? YouTube, don't demonetize me for that. I think it's late enough in the video, because we're probably like 5 minutes into this one, because I've been talking. I just crushed a Monster Energy drink. Horrible idea for pre-performance rituals, but it's not gonna matter, because we are gonna have the best arsenal of combating stage fright ever, and it's all gonna be condensed in this video. Welcome to Store Hands. Let's go ahead and jump into it, shall we? Let's just peruse a little bit. Oh, I'm not even filming. Sorry guys, I forgot to turn my camera on, and I just got this YouTube short about pentatonic scales. Did you learn your pentatonic scale like this? Beautiful.
It's all good, bro, but I want to show you a simple pattern that can get you to start playing across the entire neck instead of being confined to box 1 or shape 1, you know?
Dude, what's wrong with being confined to box 1 or shape 1? That's like where the magic happens. Wait, you want to be sliding around all the time when you're trying to play soulfully? Who are you trying to impress by moving around the entire fretboard? What's the matter with you? Sorry, I digress. Alright, let's look at that stage fright video now.
Do you know it has been scientifically proven that no matter how much fear you have...
Dude, he sounds a little nervous making this video. It has been scientifically proven at...
and the stage might be your conference room. The stage might be your Zoom meeting. No matter what the stage is.
I don't know, all those stages sound kind of lame to me. You're nervous to do a conference? What, do you have to play a fugue for them or something? Every note you miss, your share drops by 1%.
Fear dissipates about 98% the second you open your mouth and you start the process of delivering.
That's unfortunate for us, because you're not really going to open your mouth much when you're doing a classical guitar recital. Well, unless you're Marcin Dylan. Whoa, Marcin mentioned, not that Marcin though. That wasn't helpful at all. I didn't learn nothing. This is a TEDx stage fright, and they got a dope freaking thumbnail before AI art was a thing 12 years ago, so you know this is legit. I was gonna look at some homebrew anxiety video, but maybe we should start with the TEDx, just to get a little something of substance here. I do actually want to obtain some strategies for going into this performance tonight, because I hate the idea of practicing so much and then just sucking on stage. So I'd like to have everything that I can. Oh man, we might have to go to that Minecraft stage fright one. All right, Ted, any music stuff in there? Dude, raunchy, when they're doing the CAT scan of your brain, maybe try to not think about naked people. Jeez, man. All right, sorry.
Palms sweaty, heart racing, stomach in knots.
Mom's spaghetti, am I right?
You can't cry for help. Not only is your throat too tight to breathe, but it'd be so embarrassing. No, you aren't being stalked by a monster. you're speaking in public, a fate some deem worse than death. See, when you're dead, you feel nothing. At a podium, you feel stage fright.
I don't know, maybe the crying for help thing is a good idea. Should I just walk on? Help, help me. Why am I doing this to myself? Help! Why are we doing this to ourselves? Okay, stage fright.
But at some point, we all have to communicate in front of people, so you have to try and overcome it. Understand what stage fright is. Humans, social animals that we are wired to worry about reputation. Public speaking can threaten it. Before a speech, you fret. What if people think I'm awful, that I'm an idiot? That fear of being seen as an awful idiot is a threat reaction.
That's why you start a YouTube channel, so people don't have to question it anymore. Because I only want to be watched by the people who already think I'm an awful idiot. When I walk in a room, I want that to be established, just so everybody knows. So I make a giant spectacle of myself on the internet, so hopefully you've heard of me. And then if you ever do meet me in real life, you already know, hey, that's an awful idiot over there. God, that is weird to think about too. Like, I'm gonna be nervous going onto that stage because I'm scared of what people think of me and my guitar playing. Like, what is that? What a baby. Quit being a baby, bro. How do we conquer this?
Primitive part of your brain that's very hard to control.
That's the whole thing. That's my whole brain, I think. All right.
It's the fight or flight response, a self-protective process seen in a range of animals, most of which don't give speeches. But we have a wise partner in the study of freaking out. Charles Darwin tested fight or flight at the London Zoo's snake exhibit.
Charles Darwin. Some up-to-date science information in this one. All right. Hey, if the music I'm playing is super out of date and the performance practices that I'll be participating in are super out of date, why not have some out-of-date science to go along with it? All right.
He wrote in his diary, "My will and reason were powerless against the imagination of a danger which had never been experienced."
Dude, look at this old geezer. Is this Rick Beato? They just made him a white smudge. Okay, all right.
He concluded that his response was an ancient reaction unaffected by the nuances of modern civilization. So to your conscious modern mind, it's a speech. To the rest of your brain, built up to code with the law of the jungle, when you perceive the possible consequences of blowing a speech, it's time to run for your life or fight to the death.
Oh, dude. I love they have a chase scene in the middle of this. I'm so into this. Are you kidding me? Dude, this is awesome.
Your hypothalamus, common to all vertebrates, triggers your pituitary gland to secrete the hormone ACTH, making your adrenal glands shoot adrenaline into your blood. Your neck and back tense up, you slouch. Your legs and hands shake as your muscles prepare for attack. You sweat, your blood pressure jumps. Your digestion shuts down to maximize the delivery of nutrients and oxygen to muscles and vital organs. So you get dry mouth, butterflies. Your pupils dilate. It's hard to read anything up close, like your notes. But long range is easy. That's how stage fright works. How do we fight it?
I don't know, this sounds pretty bleak. How are we supposed to fight this biological response to, like, death? Oh, maybe you can think a positive thought to make you feel a little better. I literally think I'm about to die. I'm being chased by a monster right now, and I'm going to die. That's what's so hard about it. And I swear to God, every time I go on stage, it's like I am walking to my death right now as I walk on. And especially when I'm waiting till I go on. It's like, I'm gonna die. I'm a dead man. I'm about to play my last song. So yeah, stage fright's awful. How do we fight it now?
How do we fight it? First, perspective.
Yeah, just like quit being a baby. Get a little perspective. What are you, 2 years old with no perspective? I'm gonna let him talk.
This isn't all in your head. It's a natural, hormonal, full-body reaction by an autonomic nervous system on autopilot. And genetics play a huge role in social anxiety. John Lennon played live thousands of times. Each time he vomited beforehand.
Dude, his teeth must have been messed up. Let's look at John Lennon's teeth. People like to say that I look like John Lennon. I bought John Lennon's tooth for $20,000. Now I've destroyed it for DNA to track down the Beatles' secret love children. You are a menace for doing that. Wow. Also, he's a pretty handsome guy. Screw you guys. I can see it. Whoa, there we go. All right, now we're getting somewhere. He looks like a cult leader here. He threw up every time before. I don't know. Maybe he did. So that's actually not very encouraging to me because I thought exposure would be the best thing to get rid of performance anxiety because, like you said, it's a biological response. But maybe I'll just get kind of desensitized to adrenaline and I'll just I'll get like an adrenaline spike and I'll just be like, oh, that's just like a little cup of coffee. It's nothing to me. It won't be such an intense reaction. But you're saying no, John Lennon felt it the exact same every time. It never loses its potency. It's always the same. Okay.
Wired to feel more scared performing in public. Since stage fright is natural and inevitable, focus on what you can control. Practice. a lot.
I'm doing that. I promise I am. I feel like I'm practicing so much, I'm like wrapping back around to I'm getting worse. I practice all day. But okay, yes, I do feel practiced for this. I am as rehearsed as I can possibly be. By the way, I'm going to film this performance and you guys be able to hear it in the next practice log. And that's like additional pressure that I put on myself because I'm making this video and then I'm going to do it and then I'm expecting to have to put it in another video where you have to like just see the process. There it is again. I don't do myself any favors here, is all I'm saying. All right.
Starting long before in an environment similar to the real performance. Practicing any task increases your familiarity and reduces anxiety, so when it's time to speak in public, you're confident in yourself and the task at hand.
I think the confidence in yourself is the biggest part of that, and you can even do that without as much practice. Because I'll tell you, when I played in Troy, that was my least practiced I've been for all of these competitions, and that was also the most confident that I was. And that was the best recording that I got, and I actually did pretty well in that competition. So I don't know, there's some special place you gotta get to that just does something. I don't know. All right.
Steve Jobs rehearsed his epic speeches for hundreds of hours, starting weeks in advance.
Wow, must be hard, Steve Jobs. You start weeks in advance from your recital? Wow, dude, that's crazy. Dude, I have to start like a year, 2 years in advance. Screw it, 3, 4 years. There's some people who show up to competitions with rep they've had for 10 years. And that's the moment. They're like, I've been practicing this for 10 years to put this on the line. Weeks to do a speech. If public speaking is the scariest thing that you can think of, grow up, baby. Guitar is so much harder than that. I'm just saying, guys, all right?
If you know what you're saying, you'll feed off the crowd's energy instead of letting your hypothalamus convince your body it's about to be lunch for a pack of predators. But hey,
yeah, you gotta like give yourself to the wolves. That's almost how it feels. You gotta just like accept that I am going to die here. And you're not even thinking if I play well enough, they won't kill me. It's like they're going to kill me. And I'm giving them the last show. You just gotta give yourself up. It's a weird thing performing. It's really weird. It's not playing guitar in your bedroom. It's very strange.
the vertebrate hypothalamus has had millions of years more practice than you. Just before you go on stage, it's time to fight dirty and trick your brain. Stretch your arms up and breathe deeply. This makes your hypothalamus trigger a relaxation response. Stage fright usually hits hardest right before a presentation, so take that last minute to stretch and breathe.
They always say that. I've never done that. Maybe I'll do that this time. Stretch and breathe. I'm gonna get some black pants. None of this matches. I'm also not wearing this for when I perform. Don't make fun of me. Stretch and breathe. Oh, I'm gonna untuck my shirt this way. All right, guys. Ooh.
Approach the mic, voice clear, body relaxed. Your well-prepared speech convinces the loud crowd you're a charismatic genius.
Your highly edited video convinces the viewers that you are a charismatic genius. You're actually an awful idiot, though.
You didn't overcome stage fright. You adapted to it. And to the fact that no matter how civilized you may seem, in part of your brain, you're still a wild animal. A profound, well-spoken wild animal.
Yeah, there we go. I liked that. That was a fun video to watch, and it was a fun experience. I don't think I really got that much information about how to conquer the stage fright. It was more just explaining what it is, which maybe that is good, just knowing, like, everything that's happening. Tonight I'll, like, feel the adrenaline and all my nerves, like, going crazy, and it'll be like, oh, that's fine, that's just my body freaking out, but I still can't do anything about it. I just kind of have to accept it. 7 steps to overcome stage fright and beat performance anxiety. 200,000 views. Let's take a look.
Nothing is...
Whoa, wait, actually, there's a pianist. How I overcame my fear of performing music in public. Ooh, this is a tough call. That's a 5-minute video. Let's just take a look at it.
Hey everybody.
Hey everybody. Let's get into this.
Hey everybody. In this video, I'd like to share a personal story of mine about how I overcame my fear of performing music in public pretty much instantly.
Dude, what are these freaking promises? Instantly. Okay, it's a 5-minute video. I'm in. I have a performance today. I'm freaking out. Instant. Let's get it.
That is to believe. It's a personal story of mine, but if it helps even one person out there who's struggling with performing in public to become a more confident performer, then it'll be totally worth it.
I don't want to become a more confident performer. I want an instant fix. What is it? Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to let you talk. Also, love the attire. Love it. We're classical musicians. Not sure if you could tell.
Now, when I was in school, middle school, high school, performing wasn't really that big of a deal. Sure, I'd get nervous as any normal human would, but it wouldn't be crippling. And if I had a lousy performance, sure, I'd feel bad about it for a day or two, but life would go on.
Whoa, dude. Yeah, have you felt like bad about a performance for like weeks and weeks. I feel like I haven't had that. Like, after the last competition, I felt bad, but I was like, yeah, like, I don't know, I learned stuff from it, it's fine. But I feel like I felt bad for a day. Is that not the worst to come? That would be upsetting if I perform even worse than that someday. But it's almost safest to just perform once and do okay, and then just stay in your bedroom for the rest of your life and never do it again.
That changed in college. Suddenly I was performing for audiences of critics, either other faculty members or other students. It was a different kind of an audience of people who were just basically waiting to shred my performance apart.
And sorry, this is a guitar channel. When he says shred, he doesn't mean like shred scales and arpeggios and stuff. It means that they're waiting for him to make a mistake and they're going to criticize his performance.
Now, this isn't a criticism of music schools. I mean, the idea of going to music school is you learn how to listen and the things that you like about other people's performances and what you don't like and stuff like that. But as the performer in music school, that can be very nerve-wracking. And for me, it was terrifying. I totally couldn't appreciate it at the time as I do now in retrospect. But whenever I would perform, I would start shaking uncontrollably. It didn't matter how much I prepared. It didn't matter whether I was meditating, any of that stuff. As soon
Oh, great. Well, okay. That's the one thing I was going to try. This fix better be good, because he's freaking me out right now.
as I got in public, especially trying to perform from memory, it was really, really hard for me. And
Oh yeah, performing from memory is like the worst. I feel like if I had a score in front of me, all my nerves would disappear. Because it's like, what, are you going to forget your music? No. What, are you going to forget how to read music? No, of course not. I feel like that would change everything. But just having to rely on like a process that you just practice, and it's like this so complicated of a process. And especially practicing it only in relaxed conditions, and then you're finally having to run it in like essentially what is a mental like hailstorm and like lightning storm and stuff. And added on, the music school audience, they don't even want to be there. They're there for like a class credit or something, you know? they are not vibing with you or your music. So you have that in your head too. It's just terrible.
you know, had a memory slip or played a few wrong notes, whatever, I would feel that the devastation of that for days. And it took a while, but finally, when I was in graduate school, late into my graduate school years.
Shoot. I'm early in my graduate school years. God, dude. Tonight's gonna suck. Tonight's just gonna suck, isn't it? I'm screwed. All right.
I had this moment, this revelation.
He found Jesus. Can I find Jesus in an afternoon? Will he save me?
I was doing a lot of accompanying, more than I probably should have, but I was playing for most of the students of this one particular professor who basically could never be satisfied. And of course, we all want teachers who are going to have high standards and they're going to expect a lot of us. But this teacher took it to kind of a toxic level. I mean, it did not matter how well you prepared for this gentleman, it was always bad. There was always so much that needed improving. There was never one good thing to say about it. And that has a way of crippling you, whether you're his student or accompanying for his student during a coaching. And the moment I stopped being afraid of performing in public, not entirely stopped being afraid. I mean, you know, adrenaline is a necessary.
Oh, of course. Did my internet go out right when he's about to say this? Come on, no. Oh my god, my internet went out. Dude, I'm never gonna know. We were so close. I'm changing to my phone hotspot. These are bad omens right now. This is exactly how tonight's gonna go.
Adrenaline is a necessary part of this whole performance thing. Otherwise, performing isn't interesting if there's no excitement or energy there. But the being terrified went away during a recital when I was accompanying a student. And I had this moment in the middle of a performance. It's almost like my life flashing before my eyes. They say that your life flashes before your eyes before you die. This was
It's always death related.
a similar experience to that, but it was revolving around this idea of performing in public and worrying about what other people think. With this particular professor, I had this moment where I realized it doesn't matter how well I play. This person is never going to be satisfied. And I had this moment where I realized that that's okay. And not only was it okay, but it was freeing because I didn't have to care about that anymore. It was beautiful.
It must be nice being able to pinpoint your anxiety to just one professor who's never satisfied. If I were to try to pinpoint mine, it's my own expectation of myself and like wanting to play as well as I know I can. And also just feeling fear in general is disappointing because it's like, what am I afraid of? Why am I so fearful right now? I shouldn't be.
And I remember it was right in the middle of the piece. The rest of that, I didn't care anymore. I just decided I'm going to enjoy this. If I play a couple wrong notes, nobody cares. These aren't real audiences that we play for in music school. Yeah, they're real audiences, but they're not your typical concert-going audience. And my performing life was forever changed after that moment because I realized that when you play for an audience, you're either going to have people who love you no matter what, whether it's a good performance or not as good performance, they're there to share in that joy with you, or people are never going to be satisfied. People who criticize you, that says more about them than about you.
All right, watch it now, buddy. I don't think people who criticize should be judged on how they use their whole life to criticize people, and then they get their comeuppance when they try to do it and they fail. I do not enjoy that messaging. I do not think that this is an allegory for my sins. All right.
So if those are your two types of audience members, then what is there to worry about?
What if they're judges and you're like trying to win, you know? So I guess really what it comes down to is you should really just be thinking about playing musically and getting the message of your interpretation across. And a lot of the fear comes from just the fear of messing up or just not being able to perform well. That's good to know. Again, we don't have any like specific strategies, but I think just talking about it is going to make it a little bit better. Let's finish out this video.
That's pretty much the end of the story. The takeaway, if you made it this far in the video, is this. Next time you perform in public, if you're feeling nervous, just remember, the people who love you will love you no matter what. And anybody that would think to criticize you can go pound sand. It says way more about them than it does about you. So be free.
Facts, dude. Critics can go pound sand. They're stupid. Oh shoot, Brandon Aker has a Stage Fright video. We should have started with that. The video's already over. I already did everything. Let me go ahead and save this to my watch later. We will be watching that. That's super specific to what we do here, so I definitely should have started with that. Oh well, this is what we get. I have another performance on the 22nd of April that's going to be a more intense performance actually, because I'm going to be playing for like 12 minutes or so. So we'll do another one of these with Brandon Aker closer to that date. What I need to do now is be done with this video, edit it, and then practice my ensemble music that I haven't been practicing all semester because I've been too busy practicing solo rep, because that's like, you know, that's what I'm all about. Sorry, John Williams, not a huge ensemble guy, but that's just how I am. And also I play the loneliest instrument on earth, so why wouldn't I be like that? So I have some strategies for stage fright that I'm going to be trying to use. They're mainly mental things, mainly just trying to keep my head clear before and during the performance. Going through these videos is kind of nice. I think it might be helpful to just talk about what stage fright is, just so I can sort of observe these things happening and just try to understand that they are just biological things and I'm not actually in danger and it's going to be fine. And I've done this quite a few times now, and every time I've lived, no matter how poorly I do. And probably above all, exposure and repetition is going to be what's best for me. Which maybe I can go ahead and like kind of soft launch this now. I've talked about this previously, but I am actually going to be doing this over the summer. I'm going to be starting a Zoom-based recital class that will be available on my Patreon. I do have a Patreon. It's linked in the description, and it's not starting until after the semester is over because I don't want to start it like as I'm doing exams and stuff. And it's not available to like buy yet, so don't go to my Patreon unless you just want to give me money for nothing, because you don't get anything right now from the current tier that exists. But it's going to be a monthly fee to meet in a group Zoom meeting weekly where everyone who is a part of it plays through one piece, and at some point I will also be playing music. Just because I've done these Zoom like master classes before, and you do get pretty nervous for them, and I think it would be a really good thing to actually just get used to them over the summer and just see what 3 months of doing that looks like. And I think it's a good opportunity for me and you, because it's hard to like find a weekly place to perform. Like I get to do it in school where I pay like $12,000 a year just for the privilege of attending a master class every week and like getting lessons essentially. exactly. And also getting a master's degree at the end, and getting a bunch of other classes that I'm less interested in. But you know, right now at this point in my life, it's easier for me to find those opportunities to like get a little nervous and like play and just see how it goes and workshop things. But for most people, and even me over the summer, we're not going to have that access. So if you're interested in something like that, maybe just like go to my Patreon and like become a free member or something. And I'll announce it on there. It'll be in like a month or so. And it's just going to be a lot of exposure to just playing your pieces all summer. 4 times a month if you show up to every class. I think it'll be pretty cool. And I'm being specific with what I'm calling it. It's a recital class. It's not going to be so much of a master class, though I'm sure there will be master class elements, like if I just really have something to say. The main purpose is just boom, boom, boom. Everybody plays, we all go home at the end, and then we go practice for the next one next week and see if we can do better. So I think that'll be pretty cool. I'm excited to get that started. Just got to get through the semester first, but it's almost over. I think we literally have like 2.5 weeks left, and then exams for like a week or so. So I'll keep you updated on that, but if you are interested in that, like go to the Patreon, voice some kind of interest, like you can send like a message to me or something, and yeah, I'll keep talking about it. Alright, I think we can go ahead and wrap this one up here. Of course, if you made it this far, be sure to subscribe and leave a like. No lessons, but the closest thing I'll give to a lesson is that recital class over the summer. So, there you go. Of course, Rutan's Delight, I believe there's still a sale. I think like April 15th, which is an unfortunate day now. Tax day. Ooh, man, taxes sucks for YouTuber guys like me. Because, like, where is anything? You know, where are the forms? But it's fine, we'll figure it out. Or I won't. I'd like to see them come for me. But it's fine, I'll figure it out, probably. Yeah! Alright, I'm going to get to editing, and then I'm going to practice. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're practicing too. And just remember that anything is possible, and you can do it. And for me, this whole, like, getting used to performing thing seems very daunting. But I know in a couple of years from now, it's just gonna be, like, another thing that I just learned how to do. And yeah. Alright, well, I'll see you in the next one.